European Council Chief Charles Michel issued a Brexit warning to Britain that Brussels would not sell off access to its single market ahead of a crunch round of trade talks. The EU's most senior official vowed to better protect the bloc's single market in a speech to the United Nations General Assembly. Mr. Michel said, "Access to our large market, the second largest economic zone in the world, and the first in terms of international trade, will no longer be sold off. From now on, we will better enforce the level playing field, in a market open to those who respect its standards, whether they leave our union or want to move closer to it." The thinly veiled threat to Downing Street was delivered ahead of the 9th formal round of UK-EU trade talks in Brussels next week. In another dig at Britain, Mr. Michel said, "Respect for treaties, a basic principle of international law, comes to be considered optional even by those who, until recently, were its historical guarantors." The top Eurocrat added, "All this in the name of partisan interests." The jibe comes after the publication of the UK's internal market bill that would rip up sections of Boris Johnson's Brexit deal with the bloc relating to Northern Ireland. The legislation almost sparked a collapse in the trade negotiations, but EU and UK negotiators have since overcome their differences. Lord Frost, the Prime Minister's Brexit envoy, will travel to Brussels next week for a make-or-break round of talks with the EU's Michel Barnier. European sources say the discussions will be pivotal in deciding whether a deal is possible by the end of the year. Mr. Johnson has set a deadline of October 15, when European leaders are expected to next discuss Brexit at a summit in the Belgian capital. Meanwhile, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán proclaimed Britain's decision to quit the EU as a brave one that demonstrated the country's greatness. But he insisted Budapest would not be following the UK's path out of the bloc. Mr. Orbán said, "Brexit is a brave decision of the British people about their own lives. We consider it as evidence of the greatness of the British." He also blamed former Commission boss Jean-Claude Juncker for the UK's departure. The Hungarian added, "I think Brexit was mainly a mistake of the European Union. We made mistakes, terrible mistakes.